Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Paula and I am here today to do a flip through for my design team project for October for Tracie Fox, who is Love Junk Journal on Etsy. I will link her below and you need to go look at her digital files. They're beautiful. The one that I'm working with today is the Reminisce file, and it is something I had never done before. I have never done any kind of journals or albums or anything that had to go back and reminisce over family or whatever. So I really enjoyed this project. Now, the first thing I did was I made my album cover, because when I think of reminiscing, I think of old quilts. Now, when I first made this quilt, I believe it was part 1, I had made it. It was very bright and clean, so I did a very heavy tea wash on it. And it brought it back to something old, like my grandmother would have. So, I did use vintage eyelet lace on it. I quilted for the very first time and was pretty pleased at how it turned out for a beginner. Okay, and so I made a stretchy band and tea stained it as well. That is a bulb pin with an old vintage picture, which is a Tim Holtz. So we're going to open it up. It just pulls right off. And I want to get started showing you Reminisce. Okay. The inside is tea stained muslin. And of course, I told you this was a variety of different prints that are in the same color scheme as the journal. Okay, so we start off. There are a few things in this journal that are not part of the kit, and such as this block here. It's just some paper that I had, but I thought it blended well once it was inked very nicely. I really tea stained and inked up my lace, and I took care of the frayed ends, so there was no problem there. And I added the title Reminisce to this page. Some buttons that were vintage, and then I opened it up and started from here. Now, this is a side pocket that comes in the kit. It does not say Reminisce on it. It's blank for you to fill in, but I thought I wanted to put the title there as well with some cheesecloth. And I made a journaling card that really turned out nice. This is one of the observatory books for butterflies, and I love to use those. And then on the back, I just did a pocket, and this is one of Tracie's kits as well. And this is really, I just kind of did this where it could be changed in and out. You could put just about anything in there. Okay, so moving on, here's some coffee stained paper. I decided to use coffee stained since it was a very old vintage look. Sewed on some muslin here just for an added element. And rather than putting my tabs on the side of the book, I decided I'd put them on the top of the book since I had lace on some of the pages. And so there's plenty of room to journal. This is a beautiful yellow floral on one of the page kits. I just I love every single page. I look forward to using this kit over and over again and making it for family members who might want to either journal and add photographs of their family or their family history. Here, I just did my own thing. I used one of Tracie's envelopes, and then I made this out of some scraps I had left over. And on the inside, I put a alpha card with an R for reminisce. And I made a pocket out of an old brown craft bag. And I just cut a side pocket here and attached it to the bag and made a side pocket for a teeny tiny envelope from Tracie's kit. Now, I shrunk this down and I just put a little bit of tea stain paper with a really distressed little mint green flower. I'm sorry if my voice sounds kind of raspy this morning. I feel a little bit like I might be trying to come down with something. Here is another one of the mini envelopes, and I just added an old vintage picture I had of a bunch of people on the beach. And then I cut out the side of the envelope and made a little tiny journaling book. Whoops! Sorry, ladies. When I say tiny, I mean tiny. You can tell it's not very big. And you just slide it right back in. I just liked the look of all the different directions that this took you. Okay, this is some paper I just coordinated with. I wanted to add some additional papers. Here's some of the other additional paper I added. I had some papers that would blend nicely with Tracie's. Here is this beautiful image that is on one of Tracie's pages, and again a tab with lace at the top. The tab is here, and then I also stamped various butterflies and added really vintage buttons. And here's some vintage music sheet, which I love how it adds to the whole thing. And I love this floral that she has put around this arched shape, and I just used a tracing paper, laid it over it, and then took one of my images that I had and cut it to fit the inside of Tracie's design. And then I just added the word thriving. I love this. I absolutely love this kit, and I know you will too. And I've had a lot of people ask me about it since I've been doing some of the earlier parts of this. Again, here's some coffee stain paper and a page of Tracie's kit. Now, as we move along here is some more of the reminisce. This beautiful rose petal. Well, actually, rosebud, that's what I meant to say. And this vintage picture. So pretty. Let me hold it up so you can see it closer. So beautiful. Now, this is this page on the left is a picture of a lady that I have in my stash. And this is a Tim Holtz frame. And I just made a cluster here and put loving. And again, I cut out the circle in the Tim Holtz frame because it was just a copy, and made it work to put her photograph in. Here's some of the papers, the flag, and a strip that comes out of the Tracie's kit. And I just made a side tuck out of the lady's photo. Coffee stained paper on the right hand side. More papers. Here is another beautiful image. I just love it. So pretty, Tracie. I'm proud to be able to represent your product. This is a picture that came out of the kit. It's one of the images. And I just used some muslin, tea-stained muslin, and backed it. And then I fussy cut this little butterfly out. And I put the word sweet. And I made a tag. This is a bag that I've got here. And I've hinged it so you can pull it over and have some private journaling here. And inside I made a tag out of some coordinating paper. And this is one of the tabs that came out of the kit. And this is some more of the vintage lace that I got at the estate sale not long ago. And I just kind of been pulling the lace over the top of the bag. I just love the way it looks. And this bag came from Denise's shop. Okay, this is another little girl that I have in my stash, and I just couldn't stop. Tracie had some beautiful images, and then I just kept adding some of my images. And I just cut out this frame shape that was Tim Holtz. Put this sweet little girl. Now, my pictures weren't quite as distressed as Tracie's, and so I just stressed them and made them darker. And this says Cherish. And I made a sweet tag out of some of the fabric from the book and just distressed it and slid it behind. Now, here is some more music sheets. Tea-stained paper. Here's another beautiful image. I just want you to look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's just like it starts and never ends kind of thing. There's 2 belly bands in the kit, and this is the yellow rose. And I love the yellow rose because it reminds me of my mother. She loved yellow roses, and this layout was special to me. And this is some coordinating paper that I had in my stash, and I pulled this out, and I thought whoever receives this can add their own photograph to this journaling card. I did turn this one into a journaling card, but it was made as a page for the book also. So I just printed it again and used it as a journaling card. Here is another beautiful oval that comes in the kit, and it's just, you could cut the photo or whatever into an oval shape. Here's another butterfly and vintage button. And old dictionary. On the left here is an old photograph that I found in some of Tim Holtz stuff. And this is a pocket from the kit. So I just used cheesecloth, muslin, and a little note, word that says together. It's a mother and her son. And here on the tag, I just took some of the paper and made it into a kit. Used the word reminisce again. And punched out this shape in some coordinating paper. Used muslin, sari silk, and some seam binding that I tea-stained. And just slide it in and out of the pocket there. I just thought that turned out beautiful. And I think anyone would be happy to have this. Now, these are 2 more pictures that came out of my stash. But this particular page, Tracie has this double page where you can cut and put your pictures in if you would like. And I just covered it again with a tracing paper and cut it out I used it as a pattern to cut my photographs out. And I decided she looked pretty spunky, and this baby was a baby that could be enjoyed. I love how she incorporated butterflies with all of her beautiful florals. Here is an image that came in the kit of a sweet little boy. Now I say boy because I feel like it's a little boy from the what looks like jeans underneath his shirt, which almost looks like a skirt or dress. But it is precious. And I just took a guest check and put some lace around it, put the image down, fussy cut out a butterfly from one of the portions of the kit, and there you go. I made a pocket from paper out of my stash and added some old lace. Here is a pocket that I made out of a craft bag, and I decorated it with some fabric from the cover and just an old bingo card and a gas ticket from Denise's shop. And here is a envelope from the kit. Tracie, your envelopes are beautiful. And I just added this old vintage picture in front of this old car, and just added sari silk, muslin, some old inked up flowers, and it says together. This reminds me of a picture of my mom and dad and my siblings out in front of the house we lived in when I was a little girl. Only this is 2 ladies and 2 children, but still it reminds me of it. I just took an index card, cut it down to fit into this envelope, inked up some old florals, and pushed it right in and put it into the sack as a pocket. Love it. Over here was from my stash, but it just went so well with the kit. Just added some lace underneath the word reminisce, inked it up, blended right in. Here's the second belly band. I made a tag out of just some fabrics, some paper that I had that coordinated really well with the book. And I just put a strip across the top of another strip and just made a journaling card out of it and just slid it right under. I thought it turned out really nicely. Here is an old picture, and I believe this was one of Tracie's because I don't recognize it as one of mine. If not, it doesn't matter. Tracie has beautiful images in her kit, and this just is another shape. You can see the shape on the back of the paper here, and I just ended up doing it straight across and putting a label that says fearless. They look like 2 women that aren't afraid of anything. Here's the beautiful added butterfly. Here's a side pocket that I added out of some extra paper that I had printed. And I just looked at Tracie's and mimicked it, the side pocket, and made it. Here's just a simple little index card, and I just cut out a journaling card, and then I added another piece of the paper that coordinated and slid this in, added some lace, and made just a sweet, simple journaling. You have to get this in just right, and I've had it in there I don't know how many times, but there we go. Just got to hit it just right. I turned it this direction so that my tab from her kit would be right here. Love that she incorporated birds into the kit with these beautiful pink flowers, coffee stained paper. And then I decided that this kit needed some really old vintage lace. And this is an old tea stained color with a taupe color of lace that looked like it had been cut off the bottom of a slip back in the day. I got this in an estate sale. Here is another tag I made out of the flags that she had in the kit and some of the extra strips of paper. Here is a journaling card from the kit that I think we all know that this is a Paris clip. So sweet. So sweet. And I'm just slipping it into my lace pocket here. Added another tab at the top. Now, flipping this over, I'm pulling this out of another pocket I made out of some scraps from the kit. I added this vintage flower and just cut a leaf and stuck it under there. Tab at the top with lace. And then I made this in a video that we had together for the design team. And I added a couple, since there's a lot of vintage photos in the book, added a couple charms that are made from Tim Holtz. Tied it with some sari silk. I'm going to undo that now. And made a pocket on the front. This is 2 envelopes butted up to each other that I bound with binding string and some muslin for the binding. And on the front and the back both, I made pockets with this old vintage eyelet lace. Just simple little tags. There's nothing fancy. They just are tags that can be journaled on. I wanted this to be a little private journaling book. These are really cute images from the kit too. And the envelopes, the bottoms are butted up to each other. You can see here. I covered the flap here on the, I'm sorry, my TV just decided to come on. I'm going to mute it. That is so strange. It just decided to turn on. The weird things that happen, you know. Covered this flap, and then on the inside of the envelope, I also covered the inside. And here's an image from the kit. How beautiful is that? I love that. And I slipped it inside the envelope to use as a journaling card. Now in the middle I made a short book. I did that initially because I was going to do something down here and above, but I've changed my mind. So it just ended up being a smaller book, which I think worked out great. And I added this tab from the kit. And then on this side, we have another journaling card from the kit. And lined this side of the book as well. Just fold the flaps in. Fold it shut. It's very flat. And that's what makes it really nice. And then you just tie this into a bow and put it right back in. I'm just going to lay it here for now, and I'll go back and fix it later. Here is the family tree from the kit, and I just love that. It is so expected in a kit, in this particular kit. Coffee, this is just some paper from my stash. I just wanted to add more pages, so I used some papers from my stash. Okay, this is a pocket, like the earlier one I showed you, and I used the flag from Tracie's kit and the paper here, the strips, and I just did an index card with a tab from the kit, and I thought that turned out well. I would say to anyone who uses this, safe to put photographs on Tracie's paper. If you're going to add photographs that you want, if you're going to add photographs that you want to keep, you're going to need to use cardstock to mat underneath those before you put them down. On Tracie's paper, it is fine. Here is another journaling card I made from just some stash paper with some lace for a topper. And music sheet, more of the beautiful kit, and a butterfly stamped on muslin with a vintage button. And same thing here. Beautiful paper. Look at this paper of British America. so cool, Tracie. And then just extra papers. This is a picture of a beautiful little girl that I had in my stash, and I inked her up, took one of Tracie's pockets, and made it work. And I just put smitten, because you would be smitten with her beautiful little face. I took the third belly band and made a tag out of it. You could add some paper of some sort there. I've got some sari silk on the top, and just slid it right into the back of this photograph. I love the yellow roses. I have just a place in my heart for the yellow roses. And coffee stain paper, coffee stain type paper from the kit also. Sewed on just a random muslin strip. Here's the other side pocket from the kit. I just added a photo of a father and his two sons out by the Eiffel Tower. I love that. And another one of the kits from the observatory book of butterflies. And it has a pocket on the back as well. I love this kit, Tracie. I think it's beautiful. I'll use it again and again. Oh, and we have the last page, which has these beautiful roses. I just love the kit. I've had so many wonderful comments regarding the kit, and I've actually made this for a special gift rather than putting it in my shop, so it won't be in my shop, ladies. This is some beads here as well. I forgot to show you those. Let me show them to you. I bead all of my strings. It's very rare that I don't. I just love the look. These are wood beads, but they go really well with the kit. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video today. I hope you'll run right over to Tracie's shop and look at Reminisce and see all the other fabulous kits that she has. She's put 2 new ones in just in the last month, and beautiful. Everything is beautiful and very usable in your everyday journals. And if you want to make those into albums, that would work too. Just use cardstock so that it's archival. And I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you'll come back and see what I create for my next design team project. And I've got some things I'm cooking up for that. So I look forward to it. You guys come back. If you haven't subscribed, I'd love if you could subscribe. And if you enjoyed today's video, please give me a thumbs up. And don't forget to go check out Love Junk Journals by Tracie Fox on Etsy. And I'll link it below. Thank you guys. Have a great day.